My a7 II is a great camera. I love it. I want to use it forever. It's fantastic for stills. But I've noticed that when I'm trying to vlog with it, the autofocus kind of wanders off, and it doesn't have a flip screen to the front, so I can't really tell that it's wandered off. And so then I get footage that's like, what happened? So I thought, well, I'll rent something. And the first thing I rented, I started doing research, and of course I'm a little partial to Sony because I have a Sony, and most of the DSLRs are pretty big, so for vlogging I didn't really want something large, and so I thought, well, I'll go really small and rent a Sony RX100 Mark V, because the 4K is supposed to be pretty good and Slo-mo is supposed to be pretty good. Well, I used it for a whole half hour and absolutely hated it. It was awful. This is $1,000 camera. Now it's a point and shoot, but it's $1,000 point and shoot. The kinds of cameras that I'm used to using have a certain build quality. You know, if I'm gonna spend money on a camera, I want to know that it's going to retain its value, and that when I decide to get something new, that I'm going to be able to sell that camera back for some amount of its value. And to be honest, the RX100 just didn't feel like it was going to retain any value. The rental that I had was all dinged up, which is a pretty good sign of, you know, how it's going to look once it gets a little use under it. Bentley has strayed off the path, not at all surprising. So anyway, the size of the RX100 was great. The flip forward screen, awesome. Every camera should have that. But other than that, I really couldn't stand it. Where the tripod thread wasn't right under the sensor where it's supposed to be. It was way over by the battery door, and the battery door is where the SD card goes to. So it means that every time you want to get to the battery of the SD card, you're gonna have to take the camera off of a tripod mount. So it's just, I had it for a whole half hour and hated it, just thought it was terrible. And I gotta give a shout out to the Borrow Lenses guys, because I called them up. I said, look, this thing arrived late, which is no big deal, but it arrived a day late, and I spent a little time with it, hate it, it's not what I want, it's not what I need. And this guy, Alex, Borrow Lenses in the help department, was super cool and was like, no problem, if you can get it postmarked today, we won't even count the day, and I'll overnight you something else. So I am vlogging today on this a6500 that came in its place. And so so far I'm really happy with the a6500. I like it a lot. Beagle's trying to go the opposite way of me right now and it's bugging me, but the camera is awesome. It's lighter than my a7 II. And so far, the testing that I've done has been really smooth, fast focus, which I'm excited about. And I want to shoot a little bit more today. I'm going to try and do some vlogging over the next couple days. I've got this until Thursday, and hopefully this is an awesome camera. It's been a pretty good week. Not a super productive one, but good anyway. This guy, look at him. He's just gonna sit here and be chill, look out, because you know, when you're outside the dog park, all you want to do is go inside the dog park, and then when you get inside the dog park, all you want to do is like worry about what's outside the dog park. So after looking at some of the footage, I noticed the only real trouble with the autofocus was when I sat down in front of a fence at the dog park, and the autofocus decided I should focus on the fence instead of focusing on Brent. And really, for having it set to wide autofocus, it's not all that surprising. So got it set on center point now. Hopefully it's gonna stay on me while we talk. Come on, Beagle. Beaver Builder team is coming to Austin in March, and pretty excited about that. We got a sweet little Airbnb down on West 6th Street, or right off West 6th Street, and we're gonna hang out downtown and party for a weekend. It's gonna be great. It kind of works out well because since I'm moving in April, that's gonna be kind of my last hurrah in Austin too. So pretty excited to do, well, hanging out with my friends, a little vlogging maybe, and see how that weekend goes. I think I'm gonna drop Beagle off, so I don't have to worry about him. Drop him off with my mom. He can have fun at Grandma's house while I pal around with the boys for a few days. So it's gonna be good. Ooh, Brent, hello. Nice. Okay, so before I lose all the light, so far my impressions of the a6500 are autofocus is fast. It's not perfect. I've noticed it, you know, it'll wander off. It's not hunting or anything like that, like when a lens hunts, but the autofocus will just get it wrong sometimes. And I guess, you know, maybe there's just not a camera in the world that, you know, for this kind of vlogging where everything, the subject is changing all the time, maybe there's just no such thing as a perfect camera for this. I don't really mind not having, oh, this is cool looking, look at that weird crazy like vine branchy thing. I don't so much mind not having the flip out screen as long as I can trust that the camera is usually in focus, and that when it leaves focus it acquires it again. So, oh, hello. Good job, Biggs. We've had a lot of water crossings. I don't remember there being this much water crossing. And we've done it like, I don't know, that's like the 5th one, I think. So it must be a lot wetter here than the last time. I don't know, Biggs. I think maybe we go back from here. Oh, that looks like a cool spot up there. One thing I'm really looking forward to in Dallas is the Dart Rail. They've got a pretty good rail system to get you downtown and over to different parts of town. And so I've been looking at apartments, and it'd be really nice to be right by the rail, be able to hop on it, go downtown, go down to Deep Ellum, go do whatever. So I'm thinking about that a lot. Found some pretty decent apartments. There's some nice areas in North Dallas, it looks like. But you know, like when you're moving, like how are you supposed to decide where you want to live just based on Google Maps, you know? I mean, you Google around, you say, what are the cool spots? But it doesn't really give you a sense of the neighborhood, you know? And looking at satellite view on the map doesn't really tell you that much more either, especially because most of the satellite imagery is a couple years old. So stuff that's nice and new now is under construction on the map. Are you crossing or just standing? Go, Beagle. You can do it. You did it before. Come on, bud. Nope. You know how to do it. You're just being goofy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments on whatever, leave them in the comments. Bye. Have you had a good nature walk today? Good walkies? Yeah, just wander off. That's fine.